So Terri, I have a question.
Okay.
Most people, I think, understand the value of hypnotherapy regarding, past traumas that they had, or if they need to lose weight, or they need to stop smoking, or something like that. Earlier, you mentioned something about past lives. I want you to explain to everybody what past lives are and how you perceive this to be part of your reality, and how did you come across it? Just give us a little bit of background about that.
At that time in the early 90s, people were just really interested because of Brian Weiss's book. And so they want to find out what their lives were. So I just start working on it. But I think it stemmed from, I was interested in the metaphysical, or things that are beyond the physical. My dad he was a Star Trekkie. And so we used to watch Star Trek all the time, and it was connected with the stars. And I guess, as a child, I was freezing, the body freezing a lot, and I would have light around me, but I never bothered to do any past life on myself to see if I was abducted. But I experienced for a while many visitations, but they were all positive, nothing negative. They just come to check and see, what this light is in my bedroom, to the point where I hid my light because they were just disrupting me. I would see the shadow come in, and one day I asked, well, who's here? And they showed me, and I said, what are you doing here? Well, you caught our attention. And then I said, okay, well, I said, at the time I wanted to sleep, so I said, get the F out. And they left like that.
So when you were a kid, you had visitations from beings, from...
Well, actually older, but yeah, as a child, I think I said more angelic. Probably I channeled my first prayer in 4th grade. I went to a Catholic school. I'm Reformed Catholic. But I always try to create miracles. I'll be sitting in church. We used to go to church every day. And I was
every day?
Yeah,
wow.
I went to a Catholic school.
Okay,
it was like
a Catholic school.
Yeah, so I would try to be like Saint Teresa and float to the altar as we're sitting there, because I was bored with whatever I was saying with, or just manifest things. And so I think in 3rd or 4th grade, we used to do the crowning of the Blessed Virgin Mary in the month of May. So they would have the statue there, and we all bring flowers, and we do our prayers. And they had this contest once. And it was for the whole school. You could write a prayer or a poem about the Blessed Virgin Mary. And I was a devout little Catholic then, and I would pray every night, at the bedside with prayer positioned. And I would say, Jesus, Mary, Joseph, or the Hail Mary, the Our Father. But I didn't realize that years later, I was probably putting myself in a state. And all of a sudden, maybe a few weeks went by, I said, oh, I got it. I sat down and just wrote it out without thinking, and I won. I knew I won. And I said, well, one day I'll be doing this, or doing something like this. I had just little tidbits of things happen in my life. Nothing. I'll be in the garden. We had a tomato garden out back, and making hotels. I remember making a small hotel for the bugs and a big hotel for the bigger bugs. And as I'm completing, I had paths with broken glass. My grandfather did organic gardening back then, from Italy. And there would be pathways to the small hotel and the big hotel. And all of a sudden, as I'm completing this, little bugs would go into little hotel, and then big crawly caterpillars would go up to the big one. They were like playing with me. Parents have to be aware of your kids' abilities, or their talents, or which way they're going. I remember I was playing in the apple tree, and I broke a branch. My grandfather loved plants. It was like their children. So I broke the branch. It was probably this big. And I said, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So naturally I got the mud, and I took the string bean twine off the fence and leaves, and I packed it, and I tied it up, and I was amazed it grew back. I didn't know it was, there's a terminology for doing that.
Grafting?
Grafting, yes, yep. Thank you. We're born with our blueprint. Children have a natural blueprint. A lot of kids that are talking to their people that are around them because they're seeing people, and parents will say, no, that's your imagination. So we have to be aware and see their own abilities and sort of help them channel, have guideposts for them so they don't do anything harmful for themselves, and yes, they need to be respectful and work together in a community of a family. I remember as early childhood, if my parents were arguing, everybody's arguing, and says, how can the world be at peace if the family can't get along or work things out?